Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back with another one.
Yes,
Another
sir.
week, man.
Yeah. What's up, big
Yes,
bro? How
sir.
you been doing?
Man, I can't call it, man. Look, I had to put on my bifocals, you know what I'm saying, for the
That boy
my
got
my
the P's on.
yeah, boy. My contacts was crazy. I was like, man, let me take them things out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, how was your weekend? Well, how's
Hey
your
man,
week?
so far so good, man. Just getting started. The kids will be back, man. School starting in 2 weeks, so get ready.
Dang,
Yeah, bro.
y'all
Feel
go
like
back
it was
early, boy.
late, bro. For real, August 1st.
I remember I ain't used to go back to school till what,
After
September, like the
bro,
Labor Day joint.
yep, after Labor Day, bro. We used to go.
They making these kids go back sooner and sooner. Look, I heard, hey man, you get that year-round school, man. Yeah,
Definitely look like we're getting closer and closer to it, man. Oh man, but we're getting closer and closer to that football season too, bro. So we got five
man.
more Saturdays, bro. 5 more Saturdays before we actually gonna get to break down some games, actually get to talk live football. I think the first kickoff is that Thursday before. So we'll actually have live action to come in, talk about, look at. So yeah, man, I can't
Right,
wait.
right, right.
I
This
can't
our
wait.
this this our off season, man. We just getting people a little bit. But yeah, but when the pigskin get dropped, man, it's on the chopping, boy. It's on the
Yeah, boy.
chopping. So look, man, we got a lot of stuff on the docket today. Uh, we're gonna have some guests. We're bringing back Ty. If you don't remember, he was on a previous episode, repping Cleveland, just Ohio sports in general. Um, and he's gonna be back on with us today. We're gonna talk about the Deshaun Watson stuff. We're gonna talk about you know um,
AFC North, you know what I mean? Get into the
yeah,
AFC North a little bit.
AFC North in there. We're gonna talk about Baker going to Carolina. See what the NFC South talking about. Um, and we're just gonna go from there, man. We'll talk about Saban and all this craziness that's going on. And yeah, man. So look, first thing I want to do is bring on time, man. Let me bring the guy on, man.
Gentlemen,
What's
My
going on? What's
brother,
going
brother, how
on?
you doing?
what's good with you? Happy Saturday to you.
Happy Saturday.
You as well. You as well. Can you turn your thing up a little bit
Yeah, let's see here. Get some.
if you can?
Got my mic volume all the way up.
All right, cool.
All right, bet. So look, we're gonna jump into the beginning, man. I know you are a Cleveland guy, but I wanted to start off that with the getting the worst thing out first. You know what I'm saying? So we can end the good. Demarius Thomas, man. So everybody knows that
Yeah.
he passed away a few weeks ago, and they did the autopsy, and actually it was found that he had stage 2 CTE. Family said that getting that information, like things started making a little sense by how things were, how he was acting, things that was going on. Uh, I mean, what do you guys think about just CTE in the sport and how it's being so prevalent and guys so young now? You know what I'm saying? Like it's being found.
Go ahead, Ty. I'll let you answer.
Um, it's real. I think that so for too long the league has tried to kind of not give it the attention that it truly deserves, but it's real. I mean, we've seen it too many times now, where these players are having basically just crazy characteristics or personality traits after playing is done. And I don't really know, unless everybody go back to that old school Don BB helmet, Remember, Don Beebe had a helmet on a helmet.
I was gonna say like a helmet that was sitting on
Hey,
top of a helmet. I
Yeah, like unless they go to something like that, I mean, the league's gonna have to continue to do things to protect the players. But that all leans towards more advantages for offense and less for defense.
yeah. What you think, Steve?
I think definitely what Ty said is accurate. They tried to kind of downplay it or overlook it too long. CTE has been, you know, around now, forever. I'm sure it's been around forever, but we talk about it more now with mental health and things like that. But you still have situations where you see players not wanting to take themselves out of games. Like sometimes it's hard to protect the player from themselves. You know what I mean? They understand or what's coming with the game. They understand that they're kind of sacrificing themselves. There's no way around it. I don't think there's a way to play football full speed contact without having CTE. Even with soccer, though, it's in a lot of sports. Um,
Definitely,
Mm,
soccer too. I'm
Soccer's
like,
another one
you
that,
let a
but it
ball hit you in the top of the head
and you hitting it with your head. You know what I
at
mean?
full
So
speed.
right.
you got heads colliding with no helmet on. So I think the players don't really look at it until after they're through playing. I don't think they put the emphasis on it. It's just like part of the game for them. So it is going to affect society or the people around them a lot more. So, how do you protect them from themselves? That's my question to the world. That's my question to people. Like, how do you play football and get rid of CTE at the same time? I don't think it's possible. You can make the game as safe as you want it. You can, like Kai said, you can have the safest equipment. You can keep studying equipment, keep studying impact. You can keep changing rules. But we see people get laid out every game. They're like, yeah, he gone, he done.
Right.
Yeah, and
You
not
know,
only
we
that, we still emphasize that as really being like the most entertaining part of the game is seeing
Yep.
physical play, right? So how do you divide the two?
Yep. You got
uh,
the old heads that say this football is soft. This generation is soft. But I mean, come on, man. You was out there, they out there killing each other back in the day, for real, for real. That
literally.
bang nine, you know what I mean? That post route was called a bang nine for a reason. You know what I mean? You go 9 yards, turn the safety going pow, bang. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying it's real, man. It's definitely real. The emphasis that's being put on it now is cool. But think about back in the day with like Junior Seau. That was the first real case that I feel like we know where he just snapped, and then we learned that his brain was like gone with CTE. Like he
Toast.
was the worst case, I believe, known to date.
Um, no, I think they
Or somebody else was worse than Junior
Aaron
Seau. I know Junior Seau was real bad.
Aaron Hernandez was the worst case. And it was him being so young. So like the CTE thing, like I think it's one of those things, man. I love the game, bro. Like I love it. I don't I don't see how like it just gets to a point where it's just accepted. Like it's players just like, yo, it just is what it is, and I just have to deal with what comes with it. Because like you say, there's no way of avoiding it. And with the CTE thing, unfortunately right now, there's no way to test it really until you're dead. You know what I'm saying? Until they can examine your brain. Like they can do like,
CAT
CT
scan.
scans and things
Yeah.
like that to see your brain activity. But if you're not an extreme case, you know what I'm saying, they're probably not really gonna catch on that. And by the time it's caught on, you know what I'm saying, it's later in your career. So I think the thing is like anytime your head hits, right, you're starting the process. And it goes from youth from here in Texas, they start at like 5. You know what I'm saying? Where I grew up, you couldn't start till you was 10, but 10-year-olds hitting 10-year-olds is still, equivalent to grown men hitting grown men. And like you say, the equipment's changing. I love they're changing the equipment because my high school helmet was the styrofoam joint. You know what I'm saying? And the inside, but now they got the gel and the air and the
Right.
sections, and that's great. But these athletes, not the same athletes they were 10 years ago. These kids in high school coming out 240, 6'4", running a 4'4". Like the athlete is not the same. So that level of impact it's like they're 5 steps behind. Like this stuff they should have had 10 years ago, but the guys now these helmets ain't keeping them safe. Like I don't care how the helmet, the shoulder pad, hit them low, high. Like
And then the
there's no
players
way
are
to
bigger
avoid
and faster too, man. You know, players are running faster. Players are bigger at a bigger speed. Jordan Davis is running the 4.5, 4.6,
right. Like
he's
what do you do?
380 pounds. So you imagine him hitting you in your head. You know what I'm saying? While
Somebody
you're
on the end
throwing.
around and he comes through the line. There's no way to avoid that
Right.
major impact. I mean, people say, look at AB after that Vontez Burfict hit and how his life dramatically changed. Like it went from, him being, outspoken, charismatic, but after that, it went to another, what I'm saying, another world. And it's like if you don't even accept the fact that that could be CT could be the reason you're going to be like, no, I'm fine, I'm good. Man, it's unfortunate, man. Now, what do y'all think about it having an impact on the future? Because I've seen from when I was coaching, even flag, there was a thing with coaches and parents where they were like, hey, man, where it's the youth level is suffering because a lot of parents don't want their kids to play. And you've had NFL guys come out like, oh man, I'll never let my kid play this game ever. You know what I'm saying? Like I love football. My kids aren't playing. They play flag, but they're not playing tackle. You know what I'm saying? It's just
That's true, but until your child get to middle school, bro, and high school, and see his friends playing, you can say that now. But it's gonna be hard for you to keep your son off that field, Ken. If he in high school and he like,
I
Dad, I really want to play. I really want to play. I
I
really
mean
want.
I it's,
I'm
it's
just
one of them
saying.
things.
Eventually, you
It's
have to like
tough.
let.
Yeah.
It's
But
gonna
it's
be
like
tough
you
for a
say,
lot. So
it's
I don't think football will go anywhere because of the
no.
money involved. But I think, like you said, you'll see other. I think you'll see kids go to other sports. I think you'll see a lot of like now. You see a lot of basketball players, football players being basketball players, and they're cross, especially at the tight end position. So I think
You
you'll see
see
a
a lot
lot
of
more of that.
kids. I think you'll see 7-on-7. Like they've already kind of started the
That too.
flag thing, professional. I think you'll see more of that outlet to being like, okay, because there's guys who love football but don't want to deal with the risk of CTE and the contact and the breaking down your body. So you can potentially grow up and be a professional flag player. Like, will you be paid $20 million a season? Absolutely not. But you get to play your game. You probably get some notoriety. You know what I'm saying? Some type of celebrity to it. I think that's what's going to come. Um, I think there always will be the NFL. There always be guys who willing to put themselves out there, but the numbers are dwindling down. So we may not see it in our necessary lifetime, or we might be 60, 70 before we see the impact of it. But it's starting, like, what I'm saying, like teams, right? Little league teams have like 9 kids now. Before they might have had 25 and then 10 and now
Yeah,
9, and high schools are starting to not be able to field a full 40 team, 35 team, player roster, and it's starting to happen.
yeah.
What do you
Yeah,
say, Ty?
I
Because you're in
definitely
you're in Ohio. That's the land of football.
Yeah, I definitely think that the league is conscious of that too, though. And that's why they have like these summer programs where they got these initiatives like the Heads Up program where they're trying to teach people how to play, or trying to teach kids specifically how to play the right way early. That's not for the kids. That's for the comfort of the parents. So the parents will continue to let their child participate in those sports. And really, when you start talking about CTE and you think about it, I mean, we associate it directly with football, but it's something that you can be exposed to in any sport.
Hmm.
I cringe every time I see a basketball player fall to the floor and they see their head hit the floor and bounce off the floor, and they just act like they got a little stinger and they just rub it and then keep playing. Like you don't know what kind of damage that does hitting your head on that hardwood floor. I seen
Yeah.
Jason Tatum do it in the playoffs. Like, and you
Or
think about
hockey.
it in football, they now have a ref who's literally watching the video to see if a player gets up stumbling or gets up struggling, and then they'll call down to the field and say, "Hey, number 42 need to go to the side. He need to get
Yeah.
evaluated." Nobody's doing that in most other sports, but you
Yeah.
still have collisions. You still have scenarios where people are hitting their head. I think CTE is a problem that may be even bigger than football. It's probably just been put in more of a spotlight because of the constant physical nature of football.
Yeah, yeah, it's just a constant hitting, and like I've always been the one that's been even before CTE was known. Like I've always been one when I played football to not. I was never one that used my head a lot. Like I was never the guy with all the war marks on the helmet and all that.
You
My
can't get
my
that sitting on the bench, bro.
bro, don't try me, bro. No, but mine would be on my face mask. I was a very like, cause I was always scared of breaking my neck. Like that was my thing. Head like losing, being knocked out. I was always scared like, oh man, I'm keep my head up. I don't want to hurt my neck. So you know what I'm saying. I think that helped me. You know what I'm saying throughout time. But I know guys, man, that was using that head just and played throughout the years, college and all that. And even a player, the Chris Borland, 49ers, remember he retired after his rookie year, 49ers.
Yeah,
For that, he was like, yeah, I played my year. Nah, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's players that are recognizing it. And, you know what I'm saying? You might come in and get that first check and just be like, all right, I'm going.
and ain't nothing wrong with that either, man. I never blame a player for sitting out because of injury or CTE concerns, because you have to have a life after football, right? You know what I mean? So,
Right.
Yeah, and
um,
then it affects people so different. Like I remember Charles Woodson was talking about how he was like, man, I'm nervous for what may come. He's like, right now I'm perfectly fine. Like I feel fine. I don't have any outbursts. He was like, but there's no science to it. It could just, you know what I'm saying, happen, and it could just start to
Right.
deteriorate.
He
And
could be back
it's
up
just,
in there chilling somewhere like cancer. He mess around and blow his nose too hard.
and there you go.
Next thing you know, he butt naked at the McDonald's.
Right, man. It's definitely crazy. So I definitely
that for
encourage
real
like
though.
I definitely encourage people to you know be smart about it. Take a look at it, man. I'll never tell a kid not to play because I understand what football did for me, and it's a great sport. But you know what I'm saying, just be aware, like just know what you're getting into. You know what I'm saying, like, and that's all sports, like you say, basketball, hockey,
Hockey,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying,
Oh my
soccer, like.
goodness.
Because the soccer, they got the pellet cancer thing. A lot of people don't talk about that with the little black pellets they put in the turf and
Yeah.
how that causes cancer with a lot of soccer players. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's every sport has its thing, but it just kind of got to be, pay attention to what's going on with that.
That's right. But man, let's get into this Cleveland talk, man. I know Ty, we got Ty here. He's here for a few more minutes, man. About 12 more minutes. We gotta take a break, or can we keep going?
Let's take a quick 30-second break so that way we can get it out the way. You know what I'm saying? We can come back and get on this Cleveland mess. All right. So look, man, we got a new segment called Take It or Leave It. To where we have a question, and we either take it, man, and you like it, or you leaving that thing at the door, man. You don't want no part of it. So hold on real quick. Let's get ready.
It's time for Take It or Leave It with KB and Steve O.
All right. So look, man, Deshaun Watson, he getting 4 to 6 games. Take it or leave it, man. You think he getting it or not?
Woo. The way it's going down right now, the way it's sounding, I'm gonna have to take it. I'm gonna have to take it. They saying 8 might be the max he gets, so 4 to 6, that sound even better to me.
So, like, I heard that they initially didn't really present anything to NFL to prove anything to where he would even need any games. It's just public knowledge of everything that's going on. Um, I don't think you're really gonna get. I think they'll try to give him 4, but I don't think you're gonna get none.
I feel
That's a
like
hot
with the
take.
time served.
I think it's very possible that he gets none. Um,
Yep.
but I think that if you're the league, and you know that your true money is coming from these owners, and if you're the commissioner and you know you technically work for the owners, um, they're gonna have to levy something against some of these owners like Snyder and Kraft. So I don't see them letting DW just walk away scot free.
I wouldn't say scot free. For one, he's only making $1 million this year because of the contract situation. So and he's already set a whole year. So with the time served, I really don't think that you'll have that issue. I really just think he'll get that
But see that,
and get that 0 games and be able to play first game of the season. Then we got Baker versus Deshaun Watson, game 1.
yeah, but I've heard people say that he's already set a year, but that was by choice. That had nothing to do with the case. He
Well,
didn't want to play for
they
the
still give you
Texans.
time served in the criminal court system. If I can go sit down if I know I got a case coming, I can choose to not take the bail here. I don't want to take no bail. I can choose to sit here, yo,
You
and I
can
get time
choose.
served.
That's right. That's like saying if you ain't never had a scenario where your mama say go sit in your room and then I'm gonna call you when it's time for you to get this whooping. Just cause you sitting in your room don't mean you could come out and be like, all right, well I sat in my room so I don't need that whooping. Oh no,
Hey,
you getting that whooping.
facts,
You getting that.
facts.
Just cause you
I
went
don't.
and sat in your room, just cause you went and cleaned up and did your homework, don't mean you ain't about to catch this belt.
Hey, look, man. I I don't see it, man. Like I know they're going to try. I know they're going to come out and they're going to try to give it to him, but they didn't prove their case, man. And then the Texans recently just settled with like 30. They came out that they
30.
settled with 30 other women that sued them
So the
because they
Texans
knew
are at
about it.
fault
So it's
too in
like
this thing.
if
So
if you if you reprimand Deshaun Watson, you got to go after the Texans too because they had a huge hand in it. Remember they were setting up for them appointments. They set up a whole lot of appointments on his behalf.
Yeah,
So
let me tell you something. This whole thing it's really a bigger thing, right? And in
yeah,
my mind, I've always said it's kind of a conspiracy anyway. The Texans set this whole thing up to
yeah,
basically
I've
slander
seen that.
Deshaun Watson. That's why they're comfortable with paying the settlement anyway, because guess what? They're actually the Busby is a friend of the owner. They're neighbors. They live in the same neighborhood. So there's pictures of them like at the country club playing tennis together.
Yeah.
So
yeah. They did that
by
man
paying
wrong,
the
dog.
settlement, all that's doing is them being good on their word. They told Tony, we gonna get you a check cut. You know what I'm saying? If you just entertain these people for us, you pull them all together. So yeah, they want to settle because that's them paying Tony Busby like they told him that they would. That's nothing more significant than that.
Hey man, I that's real, man. It definitely was. It was a setup, man. There's no way that comes out the level it did and how like how fast it went.
And the
Um,
timing, it's stinky.
the timing was like right when he demands a trade. Oh,
How
okay. A week
ironic.
later, it's like yo, but he's on the team. He's going to play this year, so that's a guarantee. He's playing this season. Um, Outlook, man. Tell me NFC, well AFC North. Now that we know he's here, at least for half the season, at minimum, he's here for half the season. What's the outlook, man?
It's
Who's
about to
in and
be
who's out?
it's about to be the Battle of Ohio. Because
Oh,
the two best teams is the Bengals and the Browns. You always got to be concerned about Baltimore, not concerned
Who would
about
have thought
Pittsburgh
that,
at
boy?
all. At
Four
all.
years ago, somebody would have said that. They would have laughed in the face.
That's a super fact. You're right.
it's
It
facts
actually
now.
sounds dumb when I say it.
Look,
But Burrow is that guy.
yeah,
And Deshaun Watson and the rest of that roster, which is stacked in Cleveland, they going to be nice.
hey, man, it's I'm still not confident in the Browns, not because of the players, but just because of like staff, play calling, things like that. That ain't changed.
It's gonna be interesting to see the offense has changed because of the acquisition of Watson. They actually had to install new plays specifically for the passing game once they brought him in. So I'm concerned about that too. I got to see what that looks like first. I don't think that anybody's going to be happy with it because how can you be? You want to have the ball in Deshaun Watson's hands, but at the same time, you got Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb in the backfield.
Better let that dog eat, man.
You gotta let the dog eat. The dogs eat. So I don't think anybody's gonna be happy with it. I bet Baker Mayfield hope Deshaun Watson don't play week 1.
Hey man,
I
that'll be
bet you that.
Basically, say he
one
got something
hell.
to say. I can't wait to see this.
Hey man, so what
Ooh-wee.
happens, man? Is it in Cleveland or Carolina?
It's
Carolina, I
in
think.
Carolina.
Okay, so that's good
So
for
get what?
Mayfield.
Miles Garrett said, guess what? You ain't got that red jersey, that orange jersey on no more, bro. You ain't
Yep.
got that black jersey on no more.
Hey
I
man,
get to come around this corner and tap that ass.
That's right. That's
Ooh,
right.
I
And they
can't wait
already
for
know.
Miles
I
Garrett.
already said. I said if Baker come out there trying to do his thing, not sticking with the game plan, he fumbling at least twice and he throwing at least 2 interceptions. You could quote me.
he
When
might
he
throw
do
two
too
interceptions
much,
just cause.
he hurts the team every single time.
Yeah,
I
man,
agree.
he got this idea of being like a scrambling around, make a play like Johnny Manziel type, and you ain't got the end result ever. It looked
Nah.
good, like when you run it around and be like, oh, extending the play, then you throw it in a safety, take it to the house.
Right. He runs out of week 1 last year. They played the Chiefs. End of the game, down by 6. We got the ball. We need 7 yards for a first down. He steps up in the pocket, scrambles out to the left, and gets shoestring tackled and throws an interception. Pick 6. So
Look,
hey, week 1, I'm gonna
Woo!
take that W for the Browns.
Hey man, I can't wait to see it.
so who do you think comes out on top, man? You think it's still gonna be Bengals division to lose?
It's their division to. I mean, you got to say that, right? They went to the Super Bowl. It's their division to lose. I know they shored up the offensive line,
And they
so
got them white jerseys. Y'all see them white jerseys them
I
boy released?
seen that. I,
Ooh,
I
the
seen
white
them messing
helmet.
around with some white helmets.
They got white. Yep, the
I
white
saw that. I was
helmets.
like,
Them
Ooh.
white helmets is kind of cold.
hey man, the Bengals and they got better, man. They got him some protection.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
They went
think
and
the
got
protection that line is gonna be key. Man, you could see a scenario where them dudes rip off about 10 wins straight, whether it's at the front or back half of the year.
Yeah,
you think they battling for a Super Bowl spot?
It's gonna the AFC is tough. Period. If you
I
the
think both
Chargers,
sides tough.
if you
This
the
is one.
Kansas City Chiefs, right now, I mean, we don't know what the Broncos gonna look like with Russell Wilson. Like,
We know what the Raiders gonna look like.
No, we don't.
We eating W's,
yeah, we
baby.
do. They gonna
We
look the
eating
same way
W's.
they look every year. Their
Nah, boy,
uniforms look real
they about to
good.
ball out, man. But talking like going switching. I know you talking about Deshaun, and so you taking his 4 to 6. I'm leaving it, man. I think he's gonna have 0 games. Steve, what's your official take on Deshaun? You taking or leaving that with that 4 to 6?
I'm gonna leave it. I actually think he won't get nothing. Me personally,
Hey,
I
bro,
think
I
he
hope
won't
I
get out
hope
of
both of
game
y'all right.
first. I hope that I'm just saying. I think the year time he's already set. I think the NFL's like, hey man, we already done lost a year worth of money off these jerseys and him not playing. He's in a new spot. Like you said, Ohio right now, football is not in a bad place, in a pretty good place. Ryan Day got to get his shit together, but the rest of Ohio football is looking pretty good. So
Yeah,
I think they want him on the field week 1. And what a better matchup than Baker Mayfield versus Deshaun Watson on Fox game of the week.
It
You
better
already
be.
know. So
They're talking about they need to move the game slide. I don't think the NFL said anything about it, but that's prime
I don't
time.
think they can do that until like the last 3 weeks. I think the first few are set. I think they can only flex games at the end of the year. I've never seen them flex the beginning of the year game, but if so, this will be
Right.
the
I
one to
think it's
do
the
it.
back half of the season. They got to play out the first 8 or something like that.
Mhm.
that's all right. So man, you sticking with us or you got to go, man?
Yeah, man. I got my daughter got acting class. I gotta
Okay,
get to
Hey,
the
there you go.
city.
Get to
that's
the
right,
city.
man.
That's
We
what's
definitely
up, man.
appreciate you coming on. We bring you on. We're gonna do it again. Of course, we gonna soon as these camps break out next week. We start getting
Definitely.
news from the
Hey, we
camp.
got a
Start
whole
talking about
season
what's
ahead
happening.
of us for sure.
Right, man. Look, week
Man,
1. I know I got a Panthers fan, man, that love the Panthers ride or die.
Ooh.
So look. that week one, man, I might have to bring Zay on, man, to
Oh
talk football
yeah.
against the Cleveland guy. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? To see,
yeah.
let y'all battle it out a little bit.
Yeah. See
Man, it's
that
a
man
lot of week
cry on
one
camera.
matchups, man. It's a lot of week one matchups, man. We're gonna be betting dew on here. You know what I mean? We betting drinks and dew or whatever we drink. Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. So
For
look, man,
sure.
we appreciate you coming on, man.
Hey, thanks
Anytime,
for
you
having me.
welcome, bro.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Look forward to the season. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
That's right. Tell them where they can find you at, Ty.
They can find me at 216 State of Mind on Instagram, 216 State of Mind on Twitter, Cleveland State of Mind podcast on Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you find your podcast. We'll be updating episodes weekly once training camp starts. So I appreciate you guys.
No doubt,
And we
no
appreciate
doubt,
you.
man. All
Be
right,
blessed,
so
brother.
Yes, sir. We out.
We'll be back after the commercial break.
go ahead and take that commercial break real quick. All right, man. We back. We back. Can't unmute the mic. Choose to mute yourself. Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me, bro?
Yes, sir. So
Nice.
look, man. Second topic, gonna take it or leave it. Nick Saban, man. Uh, one is two-part question. Does Bama, take it to the house, man? We know how they do: a year off, year win, year off, year win, and the outcome of if they don't win.
I mean, I don't think they fall off recruiting wise if they don't win. You guys ain't want, recruiting wise, I don't think it will hurt them at all. Um, I think where you may see more of an issue for them now is become like father time. Like, how long is Nick Saban going to be able to maintain what he got going on? How long is Nick Saban going to be able to continue traveling as much as he do with recruiting? And when does it become paternal type thing where, you know what I mean, he's not running the show, other people are, he's just the face, you know what I mean? When does it become a Coach K type thing, or can you even really have that in football and sustain? Penn State, they did it, but they weren't winning championships. And you know what I mean, Bobby Bowden, they did it, they weren't winning championships. You know what I mean? So it's a little different for Alabama when it comes to that. But I do think you'll see a situation where it becomes like a Bobby Bowden Jimbo, where somebody else is taking over. But he hasn't lost touch with the kids, and he always seemed to make the right hire. You know what I'm saying? It would be different if Alabama was winning 8 games, or you know what I mean, something like that. They got their first loss to Georgia, but I mean, hell, they were still in the championship game. Now, if he loses to Georgia next year, or he loses to A&M next year and doesn't make the playoff, and then you see recruiting where he's not top 2 or 3 no more. Maybe he dropped down to top 8. Then you might say, what's going on? But who you gonna bring in to replace him is my question.
I mean, they bring in Dabo, man. They give Dabo that shot, he gonna take it. But
You think Dabo ready for that?
I think he's the one that would. I think he is. Like it'll definitely be a different culture there. But I don't know how the kids, the Bama faithful, but that's their guy too. You know what I'm saying? So he
That's true.
understands what's there.
That is
Uh,
true.
he understands what he would be getting into. So I don't think it would be anything too crazy. But yeah, man. I honestly, it's not popular opinion, and I know I'm gonna ruffle some feathers when some folks say it. And I don't care. I think we starting to see the end. Um, and I point to two things, right? So last year, was the first time he lost to multiple assistants, right? They
Yeah.
got his number. Kirby got his number. He know what it is. He know what I got. I got the horses to keep up. I got the defense built. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? A&M, Jimbo. Hey man, I found out how to do it. I got it now. It's that science. It's like, when you have that science between those two coaches, sometimes, and you don't have the talent disparity to break it. Like you think at like Mullen and Kirby, right? Kirby had
Yeah.
the talent, but it was something that Mullen knew. It's like they knew each other very well. You know what I'm saying? But he just didn't have the talent at Florida to get over the hump on a consistent basis against Georgia. It was the same thing with Mullen and Saban. All 2 points, 3 points. Like it's always right there. It's like people figuring him out. And I think when you look at that, you know what I'm saying, a two-loss Bama is a big deal, in hindsight. But next year, you know, depending their schedule, they may have more. And you look into the fact that their recruiting last year, while it was great on the number wise, 24/7 sports, it ain't reflect on the field.
Damn
They
sure
they
do.
weren't they weren't as deep as you would as the stars align. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the way that stars are being given out to kids, it's not how it used to be. It's not, oh, he a dog, he a 5 star. Like a lot of these kids are 5 stars. I'm like, oh, you go to camp a lot. You play
Yeah.
7-on-7. Like
Yeah.
it ain't because you a dog, it's because you travel a lot. You know what I'm saying? And we're
Could
starting to
it be
see
the
that with
coaching
these kids.
turnover catching up to him?
I think it's both. I think that you have the recruiting, you're not getting all the top kids. Georgia's getting these kids. Clemson's getting these kids. A&M's getting these
What it
kids.
is.
USC's starting to get these kids. Now you got Miami coming up getting kids. Florida's getting a few now. Like you're getting Texas is balling. Ohio State, like these
It's a
guys,
bit Archie.
Michigan State. It's not as easy. Like guys are coming into Bama and taking kids. Dabo went to Bama and pulled the top defensive lineman out of Bama, 5 minutes away from Tuscaloosa campus. He
You're
did
right.
that. So it's like,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Georgia went and got AJ
I
Harris
was just
from
about to
Bama.
say we just got one from Bama.
You know what I'm saying? Hell, it's starting to look like and then the whole breakdown of him claiming people cheating and da 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 da, showing that the
Yeah,
insecurity of it
that
all.
dry snitching on Dion went
Yeah,
cool.
like that insecurity of being the guy that can just pick from the cream of the crop, being like, oh, I want this one, this one, the rest of y'all, I don't care. Y'all can go anywhere else, but I want this to do. Now it ain't like that. Now you gotta get in there. You can't just show off a ring. Like you gotta get in there and get dirty again. And I don't know. I'm not doubting him because he's done it so long, but the quality of the player at Bama, like look how they had to hit the portal. Who's
Oh
their
yeah.
wide receiver core without Burton, without the Louisville transfer? Like who are they? What's their running back room without Jamar Gibbs? What's their DB room without the boy Ricks from LSU? They just picked up a
Yeah.
JUCO linebacker that's probably going to start for them. You know what I'm
I
saying?
do. Yeah,
So
like
it's
I said,
like,
it ain't like it used to be, bro. Times, like I said, times have changed, man. Stuff done changed with Alabama. People aren't scared of the machine no more. I ain't gonna say Georgia broke the machine. They're still one of the top recruiting classes, still one of the top teams. But nobody's fearing Bama. Like, it's impossible to beat them. They still a good team. But after Bryce Young, like what we gonna see? You got right now, you probably have the two best players in college football with Will
on both
Anderson
sides.
on one side, and Bryce Young on this side. I mean the offensive side, but after that, like you said, bro, it's the transfers are your next best players.
And that's crazy for Bama because usually we're used to a player go down. Like Devin Smith came in for a hurt player, caught a ball,
Devontae
championship.
Smith, yeah, Devontae
You have Hurts goes down, you bring in
Tua,
Tua. Tua goes down, you have Mac Jones. Running back room, Devin Harris is ahead of Henry, is ahead
Najee
of
Harris. Yeah, man, it was. You're right. You're right. It's not the same, but I think that's because of the rise of Georgia. And now these other teams, you got Miami and Florida coming to. They say Tennessee been doing. I got to see
They
it.
they
Recruiting wise, I
they got
think
a player.
they got a player too. Recruiting wise, that you would say, okay, that's probably a kid that might be at Bama, a kid that would be in Georgia. So I believe it is affecting their depth. I think Kirby's been building this now for about 5 years. So I think he's been
Easily 5
slowly,
years.
slowly just girl, just moving old chips to his side. And
Notre
now I think
Notre
it's
Notre
yeah, Notre
Dame,
man, they talking about old boy got the highest class that
he does.
ever in Notre Dame history right now. And Chip Kelly been there for years and couldn't recruit like this. What's going on?
Hey man, I say a lot when you got a black coach, black head coach
And he
going into
independent
these
too, and he
rooms,
don't have
man.
to play by them rules like every other conference. Really, you kind of got the
It's
advantage, bro.
different, man. These schools better recognize and realize, man. I don't care what it was in the past. Hey man, if it's a black coach that's qualified, you may want to try it. When your team is 90% young black men, it has an impact. Don't get me wrong, it ain't a exact science, but it's a thing going on at Notre Dame right now, and believe me, that has impact. That definitely
Will
has
it
an impact.
translate on the field? The same thing I be telling these Miami fans that be in my inbox, or be these Miami fans that be in these spaces, or these Miami fans that be in these comments. Will it translate to wins? Because if it don't translate to wins, what are we talking about?
Exactly. So that's why I say the beginning of the end is now. Like last year they lost. Do they if they don't win this year, do they have like an extra loss or two? Then the next year after that is like, all right, it's been 2 or 3 years. Georgia, do they repeat? Texas is recruiting crazy. A&M, Ohio State, they get over the hump. Now they got a great defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
It's a lot that is going in Saban's direction that's not good for him. Um, and he's getting older. You know what I'm saying? So that's not in his benefit either. Uh, and all these schools coming into Bama, like usually Bama will go into your territory and pick guys, but hey man, folks coming into Bama, like I feel confident going into Bama to
Mm-hmm.
take kids, and then NIL clearly they ain't got the money that the bang with these big guys. I don't care how much his house costs and how big their facility is. They ain't got that NIL bag the way they think.
But them country folks, they good when you win and cool. If say we give you this, and he starts saying, "You need what? You need
Nah,
who?" They
actually,
like,
need
wait a
20 million.
minute, wait a
20
minute.
million. Right, man. So it's
Coach,
gonna
we've
be
been
interesting,
supporting you all these years.
man. But that's my take on it, man. He's done. It's not done. This is just the beginning of the end. Now the
The
end might not
proverbial
be
end
for
for next.
5, 6 years, but I don't know if it's gonna be a Bobby Bowden. He get pushed out. I don't know if he's gonna, wave his
No,
hands, Coach K, and oh, this is my last year. Take the tour. I don't know,
I
but
don't know. I can't. I'm trying to think how I would see Nick Saban doing that. What I think he'll announce it like this is my final year, knowing it'll give his team like an extra boost to try to, what I'm saying, get him through that. Or he'll announce it at the college football playoff time. Like, yeah, this gonna be my final one, y'all. That's it.
hey, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting for sure. So look, man, we going on. Look, we got about 15 minutes left. I wanted to get to y'all division, man. This NFC
I
South,
think
man.
Jameis Winston looked like he done lost a few pounds. That's okay,
But
Jameis.
and look,
Now,
before we go
again,
further, man.
Jameis.
Hold on. Before we go further, I have to shout out, one of our viewers. Shout out to my beautiful wife who's watching right now. I appreciate it. I know she watching right now. She hit me on the thing. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the missus. You know what I'm saying? I know your wife is probably right behind your back.
Man, she
Slick,
always,
slick,
she
slick
usually
our
would.
program manager.
She would be, she be my makeup person, my
Hey,
engineer, everything. But she's getting the kids, man. She went to get the kids this morning. They've been in Virginia for like 3 weeks with her father, and she's on the way to pick them up right now. So shout out to her for being on the road. She might be
hey,
listening when she's on the road. You know what I
right.
mean? She
Shout out.
listens
Hey,
to
she's
podcast.
slick our program manager. You know what I'm saying? She be letting us know after the show, like, hey man, y'all get. So shout out to her. Shout out to the two misses, man. The
Yeah,
two first
man.
ladies, the toe to toe.
You
But
know it.
back to these sports, man. Jameis Winston, the most quoted football player in the NFL, sound bites for days. He looked, hey man, he
Man.
looked skinny, boy. He looked
He
like he
did,
ready
for
to
real. I
run.
give him that. I'm not even gonna lie. He really did look in shape, like he was ready to go on point, bro, I have nothing bad to say except his problem has never been conditioning. His problem has never been being in shape. His problem has never been throwing, his arm or throwing power. Like none of that has ever been Jameis Winston's problem. Jameis Winston's problem has always been above the neck. So, maybe the LASIK surgery, we didn't get to see if that was good or if that's going to work for him. Maybe we'll get to see it this time around, bro, because he got hurt last year.
Right.
But yeah, no, bro, I don't see New Orleans as a true threat, but they have a great defense. So I can't
Hey
I
man,
can't cap on that. Their defense is off the chain, lights out, man. Defense is on point. I can't play, but their offense is gonna be trash. Their Kamara is gonna be suspended for the first 6 games, or
six
eight
games.
games or something.
Hey
So
man, Chauncey Gardner Johnson, the Gator great. He said, "Y'all crazy if you think we ain't got the best defense." He came out and said it. He was like, "Crazy if you think." Hey, I think he slotted like I think he was the top slot cornerback, safety last year.
listen to me. Let me tell you something. I don't have no room to talk right now because Falcons ain't in position to go out and back these words up. But it's
Then
okay.
they
We
they
building it.
they beat Brady. They beat the Bucks last year, didn't
Yeah. Even a broke clock right twice a day. Shit, I
they? Hey,
mean,
but look, and then so I was looking into it right because I was like, man, NFC South, like it just came to me last night. I was like, what about them, especially after seeing Jameis? So I was always wondering, like, yo, what they gonna do on offense? So their offensive coordinator, Pete Carmichael, has
mm-hmm,
been on the staff since 2009, right? He's still with the new staff. He's the OC, even though Sean Payton was calling the plays, he
mm-hmm.
was the OC. He's still there. So I thought that they were gonna have to learn a new system and things like that. No, they ain't gotta learn nothing. They right. They they just rolling. They
But
got a new
the
head
head
coach.
coach gonna come in there and try to make his own. Like, nah, I'm a change. Let me do. That head coach, and you know him very well. Their head coach is
Yeah,
What? Their old Raiders head coach, right?
right. So I
And so
think,
maybe he learns his lesson. It's his second time around. Listen, the NFC South to me is up for grabs because Brady is old. He's getting old. The game, it's starting to take toll on him. He's not gonna have Gronkowski this year. Gronk said, "I'm not coming back. I'm done. I'm good."
hey man, that's gonna mean a lot.
Your boy's hurt with the ACL still, so you're only gonna have really Mike Evans as his primary target out there. Then they signed Russell Gage from the Falcons, which he's a good player. He's never really had the quarterback really to kind of show off what he can do. So we'll see, man. It'll be interesting, man. I can't wait. We kick the season off versus the Saints in here in Atlanta. I'll be there in the game, so I get to see firsthand what's going on.
Where them seats at? They up top or down low?
Brian, listen, it's a tradition, man. I can't sit up top. I can't see that good anyway. So my contacts. So I got to be. We in 117. This is the bottom bowl. So yeah.
Woo! Bottom bowl seating. Look, I think the Saints actually gonna win the division, man. I think they got Michael Thomas. They got the
Good.
Wiley Bet. He ain't that fast, but he's one of them route runners. Then you got Chris Olave to take the top off. I think they'll
Olave
have
is
something.
definitely one to see, but again, I'm just worried about who's throwing him the ball. It don't good. He can run the best route
James
in the
gonna throw it
world. If
now.
James throw that
But
more to the other person, it don't.
hey, James gonna lead. He might throw 40, 45 touchdowns. Now he might throw 30, 40 picks. So we gonna see. But man, he working, man. And it's funny. I like James needs his own reality show. Like I need to be able to
Bro,
follow
them
James around.
motivational speeches he be giving, bro, at the end of practice or at the end of the session, bro. I'd be like, James, what the hell are you talking about? Bro, you don't
Hey
start talking
man.
about something completely different, then brought it back to football, and in your head, it make
Hey,
perfect.
I said on Twitter, I was like, I need a book of Jameis Winston quotables. I need a book of his motivational speeches so I can read it and just be like,
Tell you what, whatever he was selling at FSU, they were winning because he didn't lose not what 1 game, 2 games in his whole career.
hey man, it just be funny, man. It's
At,
funny, man.
at
It's hilarious.
FSU, he was dynamite, man. Oh man, so what we think about this? We was talking in the space yesterday. Shout out to the guys in the spaces. That was cool. Now I asked you guys about a signature win for Billy. Like what would a signature win look like for Billy Napier this year? And of course, I was expecting for your homie to say the game in Jacksonville. Let's beat Georgia, upset Georgia. That's the best way to start off your campaign. Then Joker turned around and told me that he wanted to start off, or the most important game to him, or the signature win for him, would be y'all beating Kentucky. And I said, man,
Hey, look,
it's
man.
a cold day in the swamp. Well, goddamn, your signature win is making sure you beat Kentucky football.
Gator fans are not a monolith. We all
Boy,
ain't the same. Now, shout out to my Twitter, my Gator family on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? That was
we had the
Carlos.
big spaces too. We ain't
Shout out
have
to
four
yeah,
people in the
man.
spaces, bro. We ain't have real spaces.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout out to Carlos, Triple A, Dream, Sauce. You know what I'm saying? Say like, you know what I'm saying? It's a nice group of folks
Banks, my boy
that be
Banks on there
talking.
repping them dogs.
Yeah, Banks, man. Sometimes he get busy, but you know, sometimes he be keeping it. Early in the morning he be chill. Later in the afternoon he be going he be going crazy. But yeah, shout out to those guys, man. We get to talk some good football a lot of times in those Twitter
Real
spaces, man.
spaces.
Yeah, and yeah, so signature wins, like when you think signature wins, it's like uh something that ain't supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, or it's like that win that can change the outcome of a season.
Yeah.
Um, that's why I didn't agree. That's why I was like, I mean, UGA, and it's not just because it's a rivalry game, but just because of what it would mean in a first year for a first head coach and for recruiting, because a lot of
I
guys
would
that
have
we
took
go
the
after,
Tennessee win, bro. I would have took Tennessee or Auburn win just as fine because again, you're recruiting against those teams.
but
So
not I don't not
not as a
10, but
signature though.
UGA. The only reason I say UGA is because Billy's map of where he drew his circle at, right, is southern Georgia and down to middle Florida, right. A lot of their guys they're going after is like southern Georgia. They're not going up to the metro area,
Okay.
Atlanta. Like they know what it is. We ain't going up to Milton or Grayson, and like we know what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's Georgia territory. That's a big stump. Wall of China built around that thing. We get it. You might get one or two sneak through, but that ain't a place where you're gonna waste your time and energy. And I
Yeah.
think a win over Georgia in his first year, that gives you just momentum. That'll give you that year to be like, hey man, look what I did my first year
And this is
without my
their
guys
year.
I bought. So that means like winning Kentucky, like when the dude said in Kentucky, man, they still partying from beating us. When we beat Kentucky, we just get on the bus and go. You know what I'm saying? Just like, all right, what's the next game? So I think the UGA game means a lot,
This
especially
is a
for this year.
down year for us. If this is a year for y'all to get it, this is it. You better
Yeah.
get it now because after this, for the next 3 years, it's probably going to be another.
Nah, if we win,
Bro, listen,
nah,
I'm telling you, the quarterback situation for the next 3 years after this is awesome. So I'm just telling you now, you might want to go ahead and get your W
hey,
in.
as long as y'all got
And
that
that
offensive,
defense is
as
going
long as
to
I got that OC there, I'm
nothing
good.
wrong with Todd Munson.
Nothing wrong, but I just the play style that Kirby hasn't
Kirby
accepted
let
the
it
fact.
go. Kirby's not even calling it. He's let it go. He is completely let it go. He is not. You see the championship game. That didn't look nothing like a Kirby Smart championship game.
I mean, because
Bro, this man was
I,
throwing screen passes on first down. There was no run to the left. You know what I mean? It wasn't a, it's
yeah,
completely different.
it's going to be interesting to see because this year y'all are from everything that I've seen from Gator fans, from Georgia fans and Georgia faithful that this season is predicated on the offense. Like,
Should be because the deep. I would say this early on, we're going to have to outscore people. You're not going to be able to just three and out, get a ball back, three and out, get a ball back. It's not going to be like that. People are going to score early because you got some younger players that are going full time. But I would say, give it around the beginning of November. You know when that game get that week before Florida. That's when everybody that practice before Florida is like a preseason reset practice. Like everybody, we know what everybody can do. We know what everybody will do. let's
Yeah,
take this
I
week
think.
another training camp type week, and that's when we come back and refocus. So I think, but if we played y'all early, you have a better chance. But y'all playing us that late in the season, guys aren't gonna know what to really do in the system. It's gonna take Billy about 2 years, man.
Hey man, I just say this: if he gets that win right, because I think that win at that time of year, and that still give you
Cool.
time to.
Recruiting right, yeah, right before National
Hey
Signing
man,
Day.
it don't mean a lot
It
for
will.
the
It will.
recruiting.
It will.
Fan base. Fan base gonna talk shit. Like what I'm saying. Like it is what it is. Nobody but for the
Them W's, you can't argue with that, bro.
the W would mean a lot, man. And I think those guys that are those fringe guys, like if we say we beat UGA last year, right? Say we didn't look as bad, especially that end of the first half. Like it say it just went down. Like remember the whole first half was just back and forth, punching,
I
punching,
don't
punching.
remember it being like that. And when I watched the replay the other day, I didn't get that
Remember
from
it
the
was like
first
what was
half
it?
of
Was
this
it 3
game.
point? It was like 3 points. Like
Y'all had
it was
scored three. Yes, that's it. We had
y'all
both
didn't
kicked
y'all.
field goals. We had both kicked field goals, and then we had scored seven. And then we gave y'all the ball back. That's the whole first half. That was
But
it.
that's
The
what I'm
first
saying.
half,
Like, but the whole first half, it was a lot of punting.
Todd
It was a
Grantham
lot of
made some right calls. He made some good
it was
calls
it
the
was
first
it
half.
was a it was a good game. Like it wasn't like no, it wasn't one sided. It was just still like,
I
all right, this
agree.
is gonna go down to the end.
I agree.
I think if that game continued like that, then you guys that y'all got maybe would have stayed. Like guys that like Jaheim Singletary, who was a Florida lean, but when you look back at you like, well, UGA,
I got you.
Julian Humphrey. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys that want to
You know
be
Humphrey was
Gators,
going from
but
Georgia.
yeah, like those guys that wanted to be Gators, but business sense just made sense to go to UGA. You
Don't
know what I'm
nobody
saying?
want to be no damn Gators. Y'all couldn't
Hey
chip.
man, I don't want to say nothing when this kid hit the portal, man. I don't want to say nothing when he come. We'll take him. We're gonna take him just like this. We're gonna take him. Like and be like, all right, man. Yeah, next year you can start again. Start next to Jalen
See,
Marshall,
there you
man.
go.
Let's
See,
go.
yeah, when you start making them kind of promises, that's what the issues be. We ain't making no promises. We done told Stetson Bennett.
No, I mean it ain't a promise because don't get me wrong. Jalen Kimber, man. Well, Kimber. Jaden Hill. I mean, it's no guarantee that any of these kids are leaving after this year because Marshall's still a sophomore. You got
They
to come in to
should.
earn it. But at the end of the day, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the two DBs, Singletary and Humphrey, them guys can play, man. Um, so it'll be a fun season. I'm looking forward to some good times. I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to some like,
Yeah.
like
We only got 5 weeks left before the first actual football game. So I think within these next 5 weeks, man, we'll start coming up with who we're looking at going into the season, both on the NFL side and pro side. Um, we got a toe-to-toe sports fantasy football tourney that we're gonna come up with and announce. Man, we're gonna let some of the personalities that we normally see on here, man. We're gonna get together. We're gonna have a tournament amongst ourselves, man, to kind of keep the people watching all week, keep the people engaged in interaction, and we're gonna have this fantasy football talk, fantasy football segments. We highlight the what I mean, the highlight of the week, who we think gonna ball and shine, and who we think we need to sit. So that would be like maybe 5 or 6 personalities, man. Have like those stacked teams, and do a little fantasy football, man. I still feel like fantasy football is the way people that talk football and say they know football. To me, that's kind of another way to just kind of put your knowledge on display because I got to know these matchups. I got to know these the matchup. You got to know the matchups. You got to know who's playing, who's not playing, the injuries, the free agents. It makes you pay attention, bro. Fantasy
yeah,
football is a Monday through Friday thing. And yeah, it bring the people together, man. People like playing fantasy football against each other, talking trash, and let me know my team gonna smash your team. And you get to be a GM, right? You get to draft who you want to draft, sign who you want to sign,
hey
cut who
man,
you want to cut.
hey, it definitely separates the knowers from the pretenders, man. Because
I
people
can
like,
see
why did
Jacob the Great. Shout out Jacob the Great, man. Hope that boy get well soon. I can
yeah,
see him drafting them with Cowboy players. I can see that. I can see him drafting Dak and Zeke and CD Lamb. Because it ain't but 6 of us, so you can get who you want.
right, right. Right. Yeah, man. We definitely do that, man. I think we probably get some guys on there, man. Like you said, the personalities like Kelvin, he always be part of it. You
Yep.
know,
Yeah, we'll see what
repping,
these boys know, man.
you know what I'm
Tony,
saying?
Tony.
Tony Marcus, you know what I'm saying? Ty, try to get him on. You know, a couple, people that talk trash about their squad, and
Tay Wilson,
say
what's up? I got an invite for Tay Wilson too now.
yeah, man. Shout out to Tay, man. Shout out to Tay. Get Tay on there, man. That'll be fun, entertaining, exciting to get him on there and talk trash. I
Oh,
don't know him to
too.
talk
Now
trash.
I do. I don't know about everybody else, but I do college fantasy football, and I got a league I've been in now for about 3 years. It's about 4 or 5 guys, maybe 6 or 7, and we do college fantasy football. And the way that works is you draft the team offense. So you'll draft Oklahoma offense this week, or you'll draft, you know what I mean? You you'll draft players, you know what I mean? And them college games where you got to stay up late. Some people draft somebody in Arkansas, Oregon, you know what I mean? But yeah,
Uh-huh.
it was pretty fun, bro. It was actually dope, man. Drafting the
Yeah,
Georgia
I'm gonna have
running
to get into
team.
that, man. Because if I could pick a team, oh yeah, I'm good.
You
If
pick
I
the
ain't gotta
team
pick up,
offense. You have to
oh
pick
yeah,
the team. You know what I mean? Something like
oh
that.
yeah, yeah. I gotta get in there, man. You know what I'm saying? Get in there and take over, man. But yeah, shout out to them. I think it's gonna be another fantasy draft with my guys from the DMV. With the Angels, usually it'd be like 10 of them in that thing, boy. They be talking.
Oh
Um,
yeah, man. We got a
so
12
you know what
man
I'm saying?
league.
Fantasy football is fun. I'm gonna try not to get in too many leagues, but
Yeah, because you get overdoing it, man. And I'm a gambler, sorry, but we play for money in one league, though. That's the only one I really care about. Hey, that's all I really
yeah, but
worry about. The
I'm gonna
rest
just
of my
keep.
kind of play as I go, but if we got money involved, oh yeah, I want that.
I'm gonna keep it 3 or 4. Like I'm gonna do the, of course, toe to toe one. I told Marcus I getting his joint.
Okay,
And
there
that
you go.
college, and I gotta get in that college, bro. You
Yeah,
gotta
we're
get me
gonna
in
do
that.
that college. I'm gonna get with my boys, man. I'm trying to think. I think we did it last year, and it'd be fun, man. Because again, it's college. There's so many people, so many players, so many teams you can choose to however you want to set your team up. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man, that'll be dope, man.
and
So
you got to
look,
imagine a team like Florida playing Samson this week. You're gonna start AR because you know he gonna have, or you gonna start Florida defense because you know. So yeah, you got to watch out for those non-conference games and them, non-Power 5 games because you'll have somebody put up 60 or 70 points from a quarterback because he's going against nobody. What Texas Tech quarterback gonna do every week?
throw 800 yards. You
So
know what
you
I'm
got to know
saying?
a little bit about the team style too. That's what I like about the college fantasy football. It's more than just the NFL picking players. You got to know what kind of offense that team run. But if you're on a running back, you probably want to get somewhere that run triple option. Georgia Tech, and no, it used to be back in the day. You know what I
Navy.
mean?
Yeah,
Wisconsin. You want one of them type of teams, man. So yeah, those non-power fives games. That's what you aim for. You want to play. You want to play somebody who's gonna show out that week. So.
yeah, man. But look, man, we about to go ahead and wrap up, man. We on our time. Shout out to everybody who watched, tuned in, man. Shout out to Ty for coming on, giving us this time, this insight to Ohio football, the Cleveland Browns, the Bengals. Yeah, man, we're gonna keep it going. Next week, I think either we're gonna have a special guest, um, because I'm not gonna be here. I'm going to see K
Next
Dot
week
and
we are
Lamar, man.
doing. Yeah, I forgot. That's right. It's a birthday, right?
To my wife's birthday. Her birthday was
Yeah.
last week, so happy
Oh,
belated to
shout out
her.
to wife,
And
man. Happy belated. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
so we're gonna go to going out of town. You know what I'm saying? Catch the big steppers, Mr. Morale and the big steppers. You know what I'm saying? Get away from the
Hey,
kids and all that.
look at
You know,
him.
and enjoy our time, man. So
Yeah, next week we're gonna do an Atlanta special, man. We actually gonna do Atlanta. This is gonna be talking about Atlanta sports.
thank you,
Really,
thank you, thank
next week is toe to toe Atlanta version. We're gonna go talking about the Braves. We're gonna talk about the Hawks and what they done with Dejounte Murray in this off season. We're gonna preview the Falcon season coming up. So next week is gonna be our toe to toe Atlanta edition. I will have some Atlanta people on here, so other people to come on, man, and talk football with me too. Um, Jacob the Great, I know he gonna always be down to come on and give us what the Cowboys got going on. So yeah, next week, man, we're gonna just do an Atlanta edition. That what it is, man. We're gonna see how it go.
you. And so I'm gonna turn up, man. I'm gonna tune in. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to the bathroom, be like, I gotta take a shit and go watch it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure I tune in. You still support, man.
All
We ain't
right.
taking no. Look, man, we ain't taking no weeks off, man. It's like even if it's only one of us, we gonna be here. At
We're
the
gonna
at the
be here,
worst, we
man.
just gonna be here talk some
Oh,
football with y'all, man. So good thing is I don't go nowhere very often. So
yeah,
this will be it. So
I try to do most of my traveling during the off season, which is around now. So
good.
you know what I mean. When it come around, when it get cold, Steve ain't going nowhere.
Facts. Right. Look, I, these kids school. Look, bro, we both got kids and married.
Exactly, bro. We know what we doing. We
We in the
doing this for a
crib.
reason, right here, bro.
This is
Right
it.
here for a
We in the crib.
reason.
We in the crib. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody, man. Again, appreciate y'all supporting. You watch the thing, man. Make sure y'all like it. Comment if you watching. We can't see your name pop up if you watching. So man, drop something in the comments. Let us know you watching.
Let us know you here.
Interact, you know what I'm saying? We put it up on the thing, man, regardless if it's good or bad, hate or love, man. We're gonna always respond to it. Shout out to all the appreciators, shout out to all the haters and yeah, man. Next week, bro, we back, man.
Yes, sir. Atlanta edition, 11 a.m. We here Saturday morning, man. Toe to toe sports, and we out.
Hey.
Peace.